Hey, third grade VBC volunteers. My name is Nick Ransom, and I work here at the church in our children's ministry area. And I'm also going to be doing the third grade VBC experience and working with the third graders. And I am so glad that you all have chosen to be a part of the third grade experience at VBC as well, and giving up a week of your time during the summer to be here. So thank you so much. It's going to be a great time. I love working with third graders. They're a lot of fun. So hopefully between this video that you are watching and this folder that you pick up, that you'll have all the information and feel like you are ready to go when we begin in just a few weeks. So let's just dig in, and I'm just going to begin with thinking about who third graders are. We're going to start thinking of them as they're third graders, right? They just finished third grade, but really they're moving towards fourth grade. So they're more getting to that preteen stage where they're not really teenagers, but they're not really kids anymore either. They're somewhere in between. And this is at the point where, relationships start to matter for them, where what people think about them matters. And this is also a point where I've been reading a book that's talking about how there's been studies out that this is a really critical time in their faith development. So we have a great opportunity to work with these third graders and help shape and influence them in the ways of following Jesus and choosing kindness. So we kind of have tailored how this VBC looks for them just to kind of think about this age group and where they are as they develop. So we're going to be doing small groups. So you'll be working in a small group of third graders. These small groups are going to be in the size of about 7 to 9 kids. And we hope that each of you should have a second leader, so there'll be 2 leaders. There's no classroom that you have to decorate. You're not going to have to preset a room and get it ready for that. Instead, there's just going to be a small group teaching time that's going to be your main focus. And then as going along with that, you'll be traveling together with this group and getting to know them outside of your small group time. And then you'll have those really great small group conversations and other chances to get to know these kids. So the biggest question is, how are these small groups formed? We will put these small groups together first thing Monday afternoon as the kids arrive. And as kids arrive, we're actually going to get to use the foundry space. It's going to be ready for us to go. So third graders are going to check into the foundry. They're going to check in at the table, and then we're going to have games and activities set up around the sides. We're going to be able to do these until we start about 12:30 or 12:35. So it would be great during VBC week if you could arrive in the foundry between 12:15 to 12:20, just to help greet the kids, help check in if we need it, and as well as just play the games with them, get to know them a little bit then as well. So then on Monday afternoon, once everything is ready to go and it's 12:35, we're going to bring the kids together, and then I'm going to help us get these small groups put together. And so here's going to do it. We're going to do it very organically. We're going to have all of you leaders with your partner, and you're going to spread out around the foundry, and then we're going to let the kids just wander around and pick their groups. All right? And then once you get to whatever the designated number is, you'll sit down, and that will be your group. And if there are some exceptions or things we need to navigate, which there will be, I will be there to help, and we'll kind of figure those out. So each groups are at a reasonable size, and everyone has a great experience, and no one's unhappy. So if there's a kid that brought 7 or 8 friends and has got another friend they found, they're trying to make that group a little bigger, we can navigate that and figure that out. So generally this has worked pretty well, and we're going to give it a shot again. You'll also find out, I know none of you are going to know who your co-leader is or who you're working with. We'll let you know that as VBC gets closer, so you'll know who to find, and we'll kind of help navigate that with you as well. So that's how we're going to form those small groups. And once those small groups are formed, you'll sit down on Monday afternoon, get to know everyone's name. You're going to write that down on a roster. You'll have a name tag, give them name tags, and we'll give you a question or something for you to get to know them as well. You'll have a little sign with a number on it so you'll know which group number you are, give your group a name, and just kind of some fun stuff like that. So now I just want to walk through, now that you know how the groups are formed, I'm just going to walk through the typical day of VBC, the typical afternoon. Now, if you get confused and you're like, oh man, I have no idea what Nick's talking about, don't worry, this is going to be on your curriculum that you get. It's already set and it's there to go, so you just kind of can peek at that. But let me just give you a quick rundown of how it will work. We will begin in the foundry, like I said, and there'll be free time from about 12:20 to 12:35. At about 12:35, we will gather people together. I'll gather everyone together, all the third graders, all the leaders up front. And during this time, on Monday, we'll form the groups. After that, we'll have some fun games. We'll have an introduction to the theme. And we will have you sit in small groups during that time as well, because we'll have some different small group questions or activities that you guys get to do together as well, just to help get to know each other better. After that, at about 1:05, we'll begin our trek from the foundry to the sanctuary. And when we get over to the sanctuary, that will be our music and drama and some mission time as well. And we're going to leave a little bit early for that, so that will give you time to stop and use the bathrooms on your way over, so we'll have a designated bathroom time. With our space getting so big, we'll talk a little bit more about this in a little bit, we just don't want third graders wandering off to use the bathroom. So we'll do that. The sanctuary time will start at 1:15, At 2 o'clock, we will then travel back to the foundry, and from about 2 to 2:20, we'll be gathered in there. Now during this time, you'll have about 10 minutes to meet up with your small group leader to kind of make the plan for the small group time, which is coming right away. And during that time, I will play maybe one more quick game with them, recap the Bible story for the day, and then send them off to you during your small group time. During the small group time, which begins from 2:20 to goes till 2:50, we'll have different spaces around the foundry and some of the classrooms where you're going to be able to meet in. Hopefully most of the classroom will have one small group, as long as there's 2 leaders, and you'll have a room to yourself. If not, we might have 2 groups, and there'll be spaces around the foundry for you all to meet up with as well. And you're going to do that from 2:20 to 2:50. Also during this time, very important, is from 2:20 to 2:50, small group time is also snack time. Snacks will be available in the foundry for your group. Now you can get those as you please, whether it's you want them to eat during your small group time, or if you want to get your small group time done and then come back and grab your snack, that's totally fine, and we'll kind of work out those logistics. But I will say this, make snack time, make sure they get an appropriate amount of time to eat snack, because they love snack. If they don't get their snack, you might have a riot in your group, so just kind of figure that out, and we'll help you with that. At 2:50, after your small group time is done, you will go to whatever station. It could be craft station, it could be a mission station, it could be recreation time, game time, and we'll let you know what those are. So you're going to rotate to those from 2:50 to 3:20. Then you'll come back to the foundry at 3:20, and we will close with a kindness challenge. And I really encourage you to make sure you get your group back by 3:25 so that we can have this time with your kids to show some. We have some cool examples of kids who have shown kindness. I really want them to have the opportunity to see this, so we want to make sure you're getting back there. So that's kind of the general gist of the day. You will have your small group information, and you'll know exactly what to do. It's already printed out, and we'll have all the supplies for you. You'll have a small group bin, and those will have the supplies in there and kind of direct you what you're going to be teaching during that time and what you're going to be leading with that group. They're going to be all a bunch of interactive activities, experiences, reading of the story, things like that. What I would encourage you to do is just to spend some time looking this over before that day. So I would suggest reading it over at least twice, maybe a third time before VBC, just so you kind of know. And then you're going to have those few minutes of preparation while I'm with those kids during the Bible story recaps. You're going to have that, and if you do all that, you're going to be good to go. To remember this as a small group leader, the key word is to be together. We want you to do everything together. We want you to rotate together. We want you to sit in the sanctuary together. We want you to eat snack together, do the stations together. When you're in the sanctuary, if you have 2 leaders, I know this might be tough, but to spread out and sit with your group and have one on one end and one on the other, so you're not tempted to sit in the middle and just talk with each other, but just to show the kids that you care and want to be with them. Just remember, also, when you think about being together, is just remember that sometimes kids come and they don't know anybody. So this is a great chance for you to help facilitate friendships and help kids get to know you, and then you can facilitate, help connect them so that they get to know other kids in their group, and then just connecting them and making new friends, and then ultimately connecting them to Jesus. So when you show love and care and interest in their lives, that's really pointing them to Jesus. So here are 5 key words for a small group leader. Invest in the kids. So invest, look, connect, engage, and care. Invest in the kids. Look around at the kids. See if someone is hurting, someone needs help connecting. Engage in the kids. Show them, once again, that you're caring. All right? And that's what it's really all about as a small group leader, is caring for the kids and helping them make friends, helping them see Jesus in you. And there's a couple of miscellaneous things I want to let you know about. One is Elizabeth Holland is going to be our 3rd grade administrative leader. And so if you need anything at any time and I'm on stage and I can't help you, or I may not know the answer, she's going to be around helping, wandering around with the small groups, making sure you have everything you need. So she's going to be great. I mean, she's going to be someone that you can look to as a resource. Make sure that you always have your curriculum folder, have your roster with you wherever you go. Inside your folder, not only has the curriculum, but it also has our daily themes. It also has our overview of safety policies and procedures, and just some information about 3rd grade and things you might need to know about leading 3rd graders as well. For safety, just one quick thing, the 2 adult rule or 2 leader rule: never be alone with a child. If you are the first one into a classroom and it's a small group and you're just one leader for a group, please wait outside in the hall and wait for the next group to arrive. If I wander by and see that, I'll just step in and be that second adult until the next group arrives. But it's going to be really hard at VBC to be alone with kids. But if you happen to get in that situation, to quickly get out of that situation and make sure we're always following the 2 adult rule. The bathroom procedure is this: because our campus is getting bigger and bigger, we just don't want to let third graders wander off and use the bathroom. We want to make sure that there's a leader walking with them to the bathroom. You actually can't go in the bathroom. We have leader restrooms that you'll be able to use, but to not just let them wander off, because there's a lot of places they could wander away and just end up where they shouldn't be. That's why we've kind of built in some time when we're traveling that you could use the bathroom as a group, stop at the bathrooms, use them, and then continue on. So we'll talk more about that as we get into space. It's hard right now because none of us have really spent any time in that new space, including myself. Also, just one other tip would be just to praise good behavior. All right, when you see something that kid's doing that's really what you like, and praise them, let them know, hey, great job, thanks for doing that. And then our kids will see that and know that's some of the stuff that you're looking for. When it comes to behavior, I'll just say that we'll probably might have a few challenges here and there with behavior. Let me just walk you through the policies real fast, or the kind of the procedures we do when we're having trouble with someone. First, if someone's not listening, I'd encourage you, excuse me, to talk to the kid on your own, to say, hey, what is this? We need to make sure that you're listening. We need to make sure we're keeping our hands to yourself, right? And see if you can handle it on your own. If they still don't listen, then you can come to me, and I'll pull the camper aside and say, hey, I hear maybe you're not listening as well you should be. Can you tell me more about this? Can you make sure you're listening better, doing what your leader asks? If that doesn't work, then I'll pull them out and we'll sit them out for something. Maybe they'll miss snack. Maybe they'll miss the game for a few minutes and just try to recenter them and see what's going on. If that doesn't work, I will talk to the parent and just ask for some tips as far as, hey, what can you do to tell me to help little Johnny here? Or if you're comfortable and you know the parent very well, you can do that too, but we'll have that conversation about how that will work. And if that doesn't work, then we'll ask the parent just to hang out with us for a day of VBC. And usually it doesn't get that far, but if it does, we can do that as well. So thank you so much for being a leader. Make sure you get your folder. Make sure you look over things. If you have any questions, let me know. You can email me. My email address is nick.ransom@cor.org. Will pop up here on the video here in just a second. I look forward to working with you, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see ya.